This is my 2019 BMW M5 competition, and it was the cheapest M5 in the entire world. But it was cheap for a reason, a really good reason. The car was in an accident, and like many cars, ended up getting totaled by the insurance company. But instead of letting it get crushed or parted out, I decided to buy it, since I've always wanted an M5, but have never been able to afford one. And now, I'm going to attempt to rebuild it. Now I know what you're thinking. Jackson, do you know how to pull frames and fix crash-damaged vehicles? No, I actually have no idea, and Will doesn't either. But one, we're a little stupid, which definitely helps with stuff like this. And two, we built this channel because we wanted to learn how to work on cars alongside you guys. So while we don't always know how to do things, the only way to really learn is by trying, and we got a lot of trying to do on this thing. So let's pull it into the shop. Today we're gonna start fully taking apart the front end and finding out what secrets lie inside this vehicle, which I'm sure there's plenty. If it wasn't obvious, the car doesn't run at all. The radiator's destroyed and the engine has some damage we uncovered in the last video. The handbrake is stuck on, so we had to put it on these dollies and push it into the shop by hand, which is honestly way harder than it looks.
Don't think that's how that's supposed to be. We rolled the fenders.
Do you have a jack you can grab right there?
Nothing to see here, folks. That's not good. So that's the damage there, which is, yeah.
The car is finally in the shop with some added damage somehow. And now we can put it on the lift and really get started on tearing it down and seeing what's hiding under the mess of bent metal and cracked plastic. If the whole build goes as difficult as that, we're gonna have a problem. That was way harder than I would have thought. But now it's here and we can actually start taking it apart. So we'll get it up on the lift and get our first look at the underside. The subframe could be damaged, which would also be a problem, and that would require some engine out activities. So we're learning as we go. But it's time to start actually ripping all this stuff off and see what we find. We know most of what we have to order because it's pretty obvious. This kind of stuff, front bumper, obviously, hood, clearly. But we're gonna find a lot of little stuff, I imagine, that is gonna need to be replaced, and we'll get to, just get an entire view of our current situation.
Yeah.
So,
The terrible, kind of scary situation.
yeah, well, let's see what happens. Before we get the car up in the air though, we're gonna remove the hood because at this point it's just getting in the way. This one is completely destroyed, but it's still easy to remove. And with that off, we can finally lift the car up.
This is Nate.
Hey, what's up?
He's letting us use his shop.
So what?
He has a lift, he has nice things that we don't have.
That is very true.
You guys should go follow their shop on Instagram. It's right here. And we want to get them to 10,000 followers. If you guys can help us do that, that would be great because, we owe them for letting us use their shop, and this wouldn't be possible without them. So make sure you do that.
With the car in the air, we can take off all of the under trays, which are held on by about 100 screws, and then start to remove all the bolts holding on the front bumper, which is currently hiding some potential damage. Bumper is starting to come off. It's a bit tough to disassemble when everything is crunched. However, we're figuring it out. There's a camera that looks actually undamaged.
Ah, good for it. That camera.
That's probably an expensive camera.
Yeah, if I had to guess.
We're gonna sell this camera and just use that.
There should be a few more on this side though.
Yeah, we got the ones out on the inside of the fender here. So let me turn this. This is how you steer an M5. Oh, thank you. All right, that should be good now. It came back? What? Did it? I don't remember doing that on my side.
Uh-oh. Just a little bit. It's made it difficult to get to this.
I give it a push.
Hold on. You take the supports out of this thing?
Well, they don't connect to the fender.
Oh!
The fender doesn't connect to anything. We don't have to worry about the supports on this side.
Oh,
They would go here. Oh my god.
I didn't think about that.
Oh, it's still plugged in, hold on.
Can I get some help over here?
I'm doing these ones.
This is challenging.
them off.
Oh. You get that one? Okay, hold on. We still have ones on this side. Can we do this one? Bumper is off.
Bumper's officially off. This thing can go right in the trash.
Okay, you want it?
No. Sorry.
Sorry about your bumper.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you're welcome.
We'll clean that up.
We need these things off probably for the sunset.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's part of the headlight, like projector lens thing. You want that? Yeah, iced out.
Money right there.
Iced out. Ooh. This is a spot that's required headlight.
Yeah, look at all the headlight there.
Look at this. We could probably rebuild it. It's
Also
actually,
all over here.
It's
All
shocking.
headlight.
Yeah. Headlights, they disintegrate. With the bumper off, we can start to dismantle some of the more structural components. Because of the accident, these might not be as easy to remove as they should. So we're going to start with the largest piece, the front crash bar, which is held on by some pretty beefy bolts.
All ready?
All right. Just like that, It's not really something that's supposed to come off easily.
Come on, dude, you got it.
I feel like we're at the gym. Yeah, he's getting it.
Let's get my reps in.
Yeah, it's spinning. You're getting it.
Yeah, you're getting it.
You're getting it. You're getting it.
Yeah. A lot of random stuff is in the spots it's not supposed to be on this car, which makes things harder to take apart.
Come on, Will. Let me see it, dude.
I'm getting it.
Come on.
Sorry, I just threw it back on you real quick.
I appreciate it.
These things are torqued to like 400 foot-pounds. It's a lie.
They are on there though. We got Nick coming in. I get it in one try, dude. Yeah. Oh, all right. One-hander, dude. Oh, there was his hand.
Now he has one hand.
So you better hope he can do it with one hand. This is actually the move. If we just convince everybody to work on the car for us.
We don't need to do anything.
That's it.
Because of the lack of damage on the other side, it's not as easy to access the bolts to remove the crash bar. So we have to remove a few things, starting with the headlight.
So our biggest fear when we started to tear this apart was that this piece here was misaligned because we knew this piece is screwed up, but you see this like seam sealer right here? You can cut that there, weld on a new support here, and that basically just holds like the headlight and everything in place and is attached to the strut tower. But if this part's messed up, we have to take off everything and do a lot more work than we know how to do. We don't know how to do anything. But this side,
It's super DIY friendly.
upon examination, this side also is at that similar angle. Upon examination, this side's also at a similar angle, and it looks like we might not have to cut anything more than just this piece.
Now, to be fair, we won't really know if that's true until we measure, but at least it gives us some relief now.
Visually, it seems fine. Yeah.
Relief.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good. Looks great. Pretty good. Then we're good to go.
All right.
And now, let's see if we can remove this headlight because we still have a ton of crash damage things to remove from this car. And that's a good sound from the expensive $2,000 adaptive headlight.
Oh, we could sell this one.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
that would be a really clever thing to do.
If anyone needs a headlight on the left-hand side of their M5, DM us. Is it plugged in?
Oh, it is plugged in. Usually they're plugged in.
Yeah, I would hope so. Nah, it's for the no headlight gang.
It's a new thing they're doing.
Yeah.
Kids are all doing it these
The
days.
kids, yeah.
Unplugging their headlights and stuff.
All right, headlight. Who wants it? It costs money.
It's gigantic.
That's a huge headlight. No wonder
crazy.
our other headlight turned into 1 million pieces.
That's how-
Look how many pieces it could turn
Bro,
into.
what's crazy is this is what that's supposed to look like.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is
It's helpful reference.
yeah, at least this side's fine. It's pretty nuts how that's what that looks like.
With the headlight and a few accessories out of the way, we can finally access the bolts on the other side of the crash bar. With those out and a bit of brute force and ignorance, and a few more hidden bolts, we can get the crash bar off and get a better view at what's hiding behind it.
Easily.
So,
Wait, there's something. Oh, it's just that line. No, there's more stuff. Oh, cool.
no, it all breaks if you just pull hard enough.
Whoa. Wow.
There we go. That is off. It took some damage, but really not that much considering. It's getting close to the end of the day, so we're going to take what we need off the crash bar and call it quits. But before we go, I want to take a closer look under the car for any other damage.
Yo, lift. Hey, I see a new thing we need. Where? The sway bar end link snapped off.
Oh god, not good.
I'll tell you what's not a great sign is the sway bar end link snapping off.
Wait, is this fine?
Look at that. That's not good though.
Well, that's not a huge deal though.
But I've just never seen that happen without there being more stuff that's bad. Because that, like, how would that happen with this accident? I'm gonna need a light to really show that. But the sway bar end link,
Here, I got
that's completely snapped off. Oh yeah, we got a lot of light. All right, thank you guys. This is the sway bar and the end link. This is broken off. I didn't notice that before. I noticed that now.
Oh, that's weird.
Not ideal, but
There's a lot of
it doesn't. I don't think that was part of the accident. Actually, I think that might have just been like that. We've been doing some under the car thinking, and I think we figured out why. So if you look up here, I can show you. All of this is really scratched up. This sway bar, as I showed you, the end link is broken.
Look at this.
Yeah, there's scratches along the whole car. Yeah. So what I'm thinking is they lift these cars up on forklifts. I'll show a picture of how they do it at the auction sites to move them around when they don't work, like because this car doesn't turn on or anything. And I think we had a bit of a negligent forklift operator who clawed that up, messed up our sway bar. Hopefully didn't do any other damage, but that might be something we'll see. There's definitely, yeah, this is all broken back here. Yeah, this is all messed up. Yeah, not the best forklift operator. He was definitely not certified. Is it bad? Oh yeah, but I do see what you mean.
The good news is, just throw it on the list of stuff we gotta fix. So.
Yeah. Kind of unfortunate though. A little bit of extra damage we didn't think would be there, but it is the risk when you buy a car like this. I think for the rest of today we are going to just clean up a little bit and then come back tomorrow morning with some fresh eyes and keep tearing this thing down. So we will see you then.
Day 2 of tearing down our beautiful M5, and hopefully we'll make some progress because we are going to try to get all of this off and some various other crash damaged pieces. But we have to do that before we really make any progress on this car. We have to see if there's any other hidden damage. This car has several radiators, all of which look damaged. The first one is pretty simple since all the coolant's already leaked out. It's just pulling off a few hoses and into the trash it goes. We need to save anything we can off of these because that will save us a lot of money when we have to buy all the used parts. And now we can start to dismantle the main radiator assembly. Because of how mangled everything got, this is not as easy as it should be. Some of the lines are full of coolant, and we have to remove the AC condenser, which could be full of poisonous gas. And now, we have to figure out how to get the main radiator free, which again, isn't easy because of how messed up it is.
Pull it back a little bit.
That's perfect.
What are these lines?
Coolant.
Oh, yeah? Yep.
Nice.
These don't seem like coolant.
I think they are coolant.
I'm thinking oil.
Oh, you could be down to the oil fluid.
Yeah, I think those are oil lines.
That's transmission cooler.
Oh, okay, yeah,
that
so
makes
it's
sense.
trans fluid. Be prepared for the smell.
Oh no, the worst smell in the automotive world. If you haven't smelled transmission fluid, don't. It smells like burning microplastics.
What's good to know is that there's not.
You know? That's a great observation.
Because those lines didn't leak anything. So that means that there's not any in there.
Probably because there's a hole somewhere that it already leaked out. We got all the lines off on this side, and now we just need to check on this side.
You know, if you pull hard enough,
Things should happen, no? That's shockingly simple.
Wow.
Is that everything? That looks good, no? A little shake it.
Yeah.
See what happens. That's always good, right?
Yeah.
Matt, hold on, this is coming out.
Oh. Interesting. Well,
There we go. All right. Let's put this in the pile of things to throw out. Oh my gosh, this is a mess.
Yeah.
Do we have gloves? Get a nice, clean working space.
Right.
Oh, well, maybe this can just.
There you go.
I don't think this is coming with us. I think all of this is actually fine. This is what I was really most concerned about, is a pulley or one of the accessories just getting jammed into the engine and doing some internal damage. Doesn't seem to be that is the case. So this is giving me more and more confidence. Do I know how to put it back together? Absolutely not. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to find the OEM measurement of the two frame rails, and then we're going to check and see if they have moved at all. If they have moved, there's options. You could either replace the frame rail, which means you need to drop the engine and it's a whole pain, or you could pull the frame rail back into place, which, I mean, visibly, this looks like it could be pulled into place because it's not visually very far off, if at all. So let's do some research, and then we'll check.
So we're looking for 33.63.
By the way, before you say anything, this is not the correct tool for this. We're going to need to get like one of the full proper tools to measure, which I'm going to get from the guy next door, who is a body shop. This is just for ease of mind that it's close enough until I get that tool. And it's looking
I
like
would say, yeah, it's about close enough.
we're pretty much exactly there. We'll have to double check with the proper tool, but this is the correct amount of inches to go
Vaguely,
across,
yeah.
vaguely. And if it's not, we are so close where it wouldn't be hard to bend everything back into place with a frame machine, which isn't ideal because that definitely takes time and money. But so of course we'll have to check everything else out up here structurally once we do this repair, which I'm dreading because I've never done structural repair in my life. But one thing at a time. All right, I think
it's a good place to stop for the day.
right as we're finishing day 2, we got a DM from the original owner of the car telling us he needed to call us with information regarding something hidden on the car. So, more on that tomorrow. Day 3 of taking apart the entire front end of our crashed BMW, and we still have to remove quite a bit of stuff. And we're gonna start with the fender, which means I gotta get this whatever this is. Which is all easy because it's just clips. So you take these clips out and you store them over here. Little breaking stuff. But yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. BMW makes it so simple. Yeah, that would help. There we go. All right. Yeah. Nice catch. So these are just the cover that sits on top of all of the bolts, and also we can get a little bit better view of our structural components here, but once this fender is off, we'll have a much clearer zone to take care of the structural damage here. We'll also need to take the fender liner out and probably some other stuff. There's always something to do, but we're getting closer and closer each thing we take off, as you can see. There's room for activities here.
How does that even work? No, I know, but it turns one cable into two.
No way, that's technology.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Somebody let me know how that goes down below.
How does that work?
I actually really don't. I really don't know.
All right, we're gonna go with the strategy of finding out what happens when you take all the top bolts off and jiggling it and seeing if it's still attached. That's the strategy we've been going with most things. A little take something off, jiggle, see where it's still hanging on.
Take more stuff off that we forgot.
Almost always, you need to take more stuff off. Taking off the fenders is really one of the last steps in removing damaged parts from the M5. Because of the damage we caused moving the car in earlier, we now have to remove the passenger and driver's side fenders. With all the bolts on top of the fender removed, we can try to pull them off. All right, well, those bolts are off, so we're gonna do the little...
Oh, it's attached down here in the bottom.
It's attached.
All right.
In more ways, unsurprisingly. All right, I think this is a potential, we need to take the fender liner off, the wheel off.
Didn't do nothing.
We need to take the wheel off and the fender liner off, and that should hopefully expose the rest of the bolts. I could look up how this works. That seems far too simple. I like kind of just trial by fire. So, here, in some way. What is it even holding on to anymore? This structural component that is somehow still attached. Will's gonna start working on the other fender. And I'm gonna start taking the wheel off, I think. To access the remaining fender bolts, I'm taking out the fender liner, which is held in by a bunch of little screws. On the driver's side of the vehicle, it's pretty simple to access all of the bolts, and with a bit of patience, we can get the fender off. But the passenger side is a totally different story. Will is struggling on this side because the washer fluid is in the way.
It's in the way and on the me.
It's on him now. I'm gonna find you a bucket, friend. All right, what happens when I lower this? It's full. I don't think that's the best method. That can't be the best method. Where's it draining from?
The top is the problem.
Holy Will, it's dripping all the way back there.
Oh, it's dripping down the side skirt.
Oh, dude, it's getting on the hood.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. How?
Is there any way to just take this out?
No, when it's empty.
That does smell horrible.
Got it. Smells weird in here.
Yeah, I don't like this.
They're like soldering a coolant line or something over there.
With the windshield washer fluid tank out, we can access the bolts for the passenger fender. And again, with a bit of persuasion, we can get it off. With that done, the car is basically as torn down as we need it. And we only have one thing left to do today, which I'm starting to get a little nervous about.
So like I said, we got a DM from somebody that said they knew the previous owner of this car, and I ended up reaching out to him. I got his number, and he told me I could give him a ring because he wants to tell us a few things about the car. So I'm gonna call this guy right now and see what he has to say.
Let's see.
I hope he doesn't mind being on camera. I have his contact as M5 owner because he didn't tell me his name for some reason. Let's see what he has to say. Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, are you guys recording me right now?
Yeah, we're gonna record for the video. Is that cool?
Can you guys just blur out my name and, my face and just maybe distort the voice a little?
Yeah, we got you. All right, we got you. You can turn your camera off. All right, sweet. So, yeah, we have your car right here.
Oh, wow, you guys really dissected it, huh?
Yeah, we're tearing it down. I guess kind of just like a few random questions about the car we wanted to ask because we don't really know anything about it. They didn't tell us anything when we bought it. But, first, I guess, how did the accident happen?
Yeah, so this accident actually happened pretty recently in November. And unfortunately, it's one of those days where it was like the first really cold days. It was probably like high 30s, low 40s. And unfortunately, my tires were pretty cold, I think. I think that was the root cause of the problem. And I was just driving in the left lane of the highway. And unfortunately, when I let off the gas, we were in an overpass rather, and the exhaust made the guy in front of me get really, really scared. And he actually brake checked me super hard. And in order for me to avoid rear-ending him, unfortunately I had to sway into the middle lane, completely lost control, did a few 360s on the highway, and then ended up completely hitting the barrier on the right side of the highway. Really hard, unfortunately. So that's how it happened.
Were you all right?
Yeah, thank God I was okay. I went to the hospital, everything checked out. I had a bunch of tests ran, but yeah, I'm good.
That's good. Glad to hear that. So I guess that kind of makes sense why the damage was a bit higher. It was one of those like lifted like barriers, right? The metal ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I guess those are meant to crumple a little bit too. So maybe that saved us from a bit more damage. But I'm glad to hear you're all right. So you said it has a very loud exhaust. I know we noticed that. I guess what else is done to it? We can tell there's like lowering springs in the exhaust, but that's about all we know in the intakes.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of work done to it. The car is pretty heavily modified. I guess I could just kind of go from A to Z for you guys. In terms of the suspension, it has a KW Has kit on it. It's sitting on SSR spacers, so that's why the wheels are not, indented into the fender.
The fitment is fire on this thing.
Thank you,
you did a good job.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Downpipes, we went with colored catless downpipes. The exhaust is a AWE cat back exhaust, so that means the whole entire exhaust system is straight pipe.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds some pretty good flames.
Hell yeah.
With intakes, we went with Burger Motorsports, and then there's a carbon on the car.
Yeah.
RW carbon.
Oh, nice.
So that's actually the third lip I put on in the past year and a half.
New York, right?
New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
trying to get into gas stations or your driveway, you're just always scraping it. So that's actually the third lip, but
Yeah.
it has side skirts, it has rear diffuser, and it has the small wing on the trunk.
Nice. Yeah, that stuff looks sick. It looks really, really good. You did a good job with that.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And then I was sitting on a Utku tune. So big shout out to Utku. He holds a few world records for F90 holders from quarter mile, 60 to 130. The car was on. It had a couple of maps. It had a 93 map. It had an E40 map. So it was on a pretty aggressive tune.
Do you are you able to switch the maps on it? Because we probably won't run E40, or do you have to do it with the computer? Does it have like live map switching?
So yeah, you just need to switch the maps. Like you would basically need to just put a diagnostic mode and just flash the 93 map.
Okay, yeah, sweet,
So it's very easy. BMW makes it very easy just to flash it to a 93 map.
sweet. That's pretty good. Yeah, no, that's we'll probably end up running more 93 than E40. We're not big horsepower guys. This is definitely faster than anything we've owned. Yeah, faster than any car we've had. So how much power?
Even on 93, it was pretty fast. So on the E40 map, it was making low 8s.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And it shot flames. It was insanely loud. It was, it's an M5 to be remembered for sure.
Yeah.
I was part of a car group, still am part of a car group called Foreign Mob, and they're really the ones that are putting it off in New York City. There's no one else doing it like the mob. Big shout out to Foreign Mob. We're not the cars and coffee type of guys. We bring out our cars, and we're looking to have fun with it. It's all for fun. We do it late at night. It's just a group of guys who just really want to push their cars to the limits and not just stare at them in a parking lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it sounds like this thing definitely got used. We like using our cars as well. I don't know if you've seen some of our videos. We have a lifted 911 that we drove across the country, did some crazy off-roading, and so we'll definitely be using this thing. We'll probably drive it across the country or something.
Yeah, most likely. It'll probably end up in California for a little bit.
That's funny. I'm excited to see what you guys do with it. It's a great car. You guys will really like it. It's a supercar killer. You could, smoke 99% of traffic on road with your massage seats on.
Just the way I like it.
Yeah, you guys will love it.
I know you said you might have some bad news when we were texting. What was that?
Unfortunately, with a lot of power, it does come problems, and unfortunately, cylinder 5 is slightly scored. So that might be a bit of a bummer for you guys to hear, unfortunately. However, though, there is some good news. I don't think the scoring is to the point where, it's going to cause catastrophic engine damage. You guys could probably hone it out at a machine shop that you find and trust. So, which means you could make more power. I know you guys said you guys want.
we could sleeve it.
Sleeve it, exactly. Yeah, that would probably solve it. But obviously talk to a machine shop first.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, big power comes with problems sometimes. I was actually going to get the car built by Pure Performance out in Texas. They're really well known for building any type of car in general, but M cars in specific. And it was actually going to go to Pure in about like a couple of weeks from now, but obviously that's no longer happening.
Yeah. Damn. Well, that is unfortunate, but I mean, I guess, hey, we bought the car taking on a risk, so.
What can you do?
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news.
I guess it's better that we know and maybe can take a look at it than just putting it back together, starting to drive it, and then it ends up destroying itself in 10,000 miles, and we're like, why did that happen? Yeah.
That's why I wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Karma is a thing, so.
Hey, definitely.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. That's helpful.
Well, I really appreciate the call, man. I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but thank you for letting us know about all that. We have some deliberation to do over here about the engine, but we really appreciate your time.
I hear you. No problem. Thank you for your time, too. I appreciate it. Look forward to what you guys do with the build.
Yeah, we'll keep...
Questions, let me know.
We'll do, and we'll keep you updated with some progress pictures, for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Sounds good. Take care.
Take care. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.
Damn, that sucks.
Engine damage.
The one thing
that we didn't want. Well,
I don't really know how to react to that well.
the good news is... Well, there's no good news.
The news is already off, so now we have to take the engine out.
Yeah, well, look on the bright side. Most of this, it's so much easier to take the engine out now. Yeah, that's good.
That all sounds really expensive.
Does sound expensive. Does.
If anyone can sleeve blocks and wants to help us, please DM us.
So now we're gonna learn how to take an M5 engine out of an M5.
That's how you solve that, right? You could sleeve it, right? You said you could hone it out, but that would kind of be scary.
I think sleeving it is, I don't know. I was about to say something, and I have no
I
idea
don't really
what
know
I'm
much
talking
about engines, but I think sleeving it is how you fix cars that are doing bore scoring, making power.
Yeah.
800 horsepower is crazy.
800 horsepower is wild. I think if we sleeve it, it'll make the 800 horsepower that it has more reliably, and it won't do the same thing again. If we just hone it, I think there's a possibility that we run into the same problem later down the line. If we keep all the mods that are on it, which I think we should.
I mean, I'm down with 800 horsepower.
So, engine damage is, I'm gonna look on the bright side and say we can make it more reliable, and that we've already taken all this apart, so it should be relatively easy. It's just gonna eat into budget, and we're gonna have to learn something new. But the thing is when these kinds of things happen in life, you have no control over it. Look, the engine's damaged. What am I gonna do about it besides fix it?
We bought the car and we couldn't talk to the previous owner. It was an insurance auction. We bought this car from State Farm Insurance, technically. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? That's the risk you take when you buy a car. Especially, we could tell it was modified in the pictures, barely. And like with a modified car comes probability of damage, unfortunately.
Next episode, we'll find out how to take this out of this.
Is that what
Maybe.
the plan is?
I don't know what the plan is. Tune in next time, subscribe, and don't think you're gonna wanna miss it. We're gonna make this happen regardless of what it takes.
Please leave a like and a comment as well because we need more money.
Yeah.
And that helps us get the video shared to more of you people that will help us fix this thing.
Me and Will buy nice cars, but we eat.
Well, they're not.
Well,
It's not very nice.
This is all of me and Will's money, and we eat ramen noodles to be
Yeah.
able to afford parts. So please,
Love me that ramen.
like the video, subscribe, and see you
Bye,
next
guys.
time.